County Council meeting of Monday, January the 8th, to order. Would you all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? And please remain standing for the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear God, help us enter the new year quietly, thoughtful of who we are to ourselves and to others, mindful that our steps make an impact and our words carry power. May we walk gently, may we speak only after we have listened well. Let us release our grudges, our anger, and our pains, for these are nothing but binding chains. Let us live each day in the most loving ways. Let us serve all who are in need, regardless of race, color, or creed. Let us keep our God of our own understanding in our hearts. Let us lead the world from darkness to light, from falsehood to truth, and from wrong to right. Let us remember that we are all one, embracing all, discriminating against none. May this year be filled with peace, prosperity, and love. May God's blessings shower upon all of us and bestow upon each of us a bright, healthy, and peaceful year. May we, your people, walk forward together, side by side. And we do this in God's name. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, Jim.
I would ask all of us to take a moment of silence. Recently, we had a tragedy in our county. A young man by the name of Jeremy L.J. Washington was murdered in a drive-by shooting. So if you would have a moment of silence, please. Thank you very much. Welcome to the first meeting of County Council in 2024. This is the year of C's, not S-E-A, but the letter C. It's going to stand for change, challenges, choices, chances, cooperation, conservation, and continuation. All of these will impact the quality of life that we enjoy and want to preserve. Tonight's agenda is the beginning of the new year and some of the changes and choices we will have to make throughout the year. Public notice of this meeting has been published, posted, and distributed in compliance with the South Carolina Freedom of Information Act. If you look, the dais is full. One individual, Mr. Reitz, is not available to be in person, but he is online. Good evening, Tom.
Good evening. Thank you, Chairman. Nice to be with you.
We have the full complement to conduct the business of County Council. May I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Ms. Tabernick made the motion and Mr. Dawson made the second. Duly motioned and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, the agenda will be approved without objection, and I see no objections.
Okay.
I would ask a member of council to approve the minutes of December 11th of 2023.
I'll make the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Howard made the motion.
Second.
Mr. McClellan made the second. Duly motioned and seconded. Any discussion? Any changes? Seeing none, the minutes will be approved without objection, and there are no objections. I now turn to our interim county administrator for the administrator's report. Mr. Robinson?
Good evening,
Good evening.
Chairman and Council. Happy New Year. Looking forward to a great year in Beaufort County. We have accomplished a lot of things in the last 6 months, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot of great things this coming year. I'd like to start out today talking about the inclusive playground in Port Royal. So right after Christmas, we, one of our contractors got our sidewalks in from the parking area and from the bathrooms to the playground. So right now, we are scheduling along with the town of Port Royal, a grand opening for our inclusive playground on January 27th. So some more information will come along with that. And at our next council meeting, I'll have some great photos on the 22nd. So it'll be just a few days prior to that. I'll have some photos for you, and I'll remind you again of that grand opening. And that should be a good event. Also, I'd like to announce our completion of the Defusky Island Ferry Service contract. So I know this has been a challenge for council members. Thank you. It has been a challenge for us as well as the residents and visitors to Defusky Island. We finalized this contract on Friday afternoon. So the county has not been withholding information. We've shared everything we can, but contract negotiations are delicate, and we came right down to a couple of weeks before. So our new service provider will be Low Country Ferry. They will begin operations on January 16th, the first run in the morning. So the county still manages the 4 runs per day to Defusky Island and its residents. The price and ticketing for those residents or qualified QDRs will remain the same. We will work on transitioning the reservation and ticketing model to the new provider, and we'll have some more information to share with our residents and riders as that's available. Right. So that reservation system will come out, will be available soon, and we'll make sure we communicate that with the public. I have 3 employees to recognize tonight or to introduce to you. The first employee this evening is Alex Stewart. Alex works in the real property recording. He's a real property recording technician for the Register of Deeds. Is Alex here? There's Alex. Come on up, Alex. Here you go. Alex Stewart. So Alex was hired to help with an indexing project that spans over several years. So the Register of Deeds office changed database, and the old database went back to the 80s. Yep. And is more modern now. And Alex has been very involved in having to really physically look at each one of those old accounts and make sure they transfer properly into the new account. And it was such an old system. While some of it automatically transferred, the details of those, which are very important in the registrar's office, weren't all captured. So Alex was instrumental and has been and continues to be instrumental in capturing all those details and make sure they're included in the new software. Did I get that right?
Correct.
Yeah. That's a lot. So he's done an excellent job finding errors that even his director would not have thought of. Alex's detailed attention to the new vision data information make sure it's more correct and more reliable. He's also been trained as a backup scanner and has been used many times due to overflow of work. So he's really been multitasking for that department. Although he's quiet-natured, we'll find out. Alex is very passionate about current events, reading, history, and his cats. Alex, you would just like to say a few words?
Over the few years before I had this job, I was really looking for any sort of place of workforce I was willing to find. After I was given the green thumbs to work here, I was very passionate and encouraged to do whatever it takes to keep it and to actually do the things that was given to me. Yeah. And given the prior assignment that was given to me, I feel I was heavily focused and concerned though for some of the things that there was some errors including and And it was, and looking back on it though, it was surprising for how much I've been doing, despite how few I was. Sorry, it was just all in the span of a year. It's shocking for me that how much has been done for how felt so little. That would be really much it.
It's all right. Thank you, Alex. Migrating a database is a lot of work. It takes incredible attention to detail. So thank you, Alex, for what you do. Next is Jennifer McKenzie from the Magistrate's Office. She could not be with us tonight, so I think there's a photo, perhaps. So Jennifer assists the team leader, court supervisor, in the daily operations of the Bluffton Magistrates Court. She assists the judges, officers, and staff and other parties in all court activities. Jennifer is tasked with training new employees and ensuring that all policies and procedures are maintained and updated as needed. She provides excellent customer service. Jennifer always has a positive attitude and is dedicated to serving the citizens of Beaufort County. She is originally from California, moved to Beaufort in 2016 with her active duty husband, who was in the U.S. Marine Corps, stationed right down the street at Parris Island. Before coming to work, she was a stay-at-home mom to 3 boys and a Zumba fitness instructor. Very busy. So nowadays, she says that she spends her time attending sporting events for her boys. For her favorite pastimes include game nights with her family, crafting, and Hawaiian and Tahitian dancing. Seems like an interesting person. Hopefully we'll get to meet her. All right. Next, also not able to attend is Harold Green. Harold Green works for our Stormwater and Infrastructure Department. Harold is a foreman. He's a foreman with the Stormwater Department. He's worked for us for 21 years. He oversees and coordinates maintenance crews, bush hogging crews daily, and ensures that all the crews' work are completed safely in a timely manner. So he conducts routine quality assurance checks, making sure he goes behind all this activity. Bush hogging is very important to stormwater. Keeping the right-of-ways clear and the ditches clean and those kinds of things are so important for those stormwater systems. Mr. Green is one of those type of people that's ready to help no matter what the issue or problem is. On the job or not, he is a person that his coworkers rely on to help them solve problems. They make a call, and he's there to help them out. So he's a really good folks. That's all I have tonight. Sir, that concludes my report.
Very good.
Chair, before we go on.
Yes.
Alex actually walked away as you was getting him notice to come take a picture.
Yes.
Would you give him that chance if
Yeah.
he's still here?
Alex, do you want to get a picture before you go? Let's get a picture.
Yeah, thank you.
He seemed ready to go, so.
15.
If you didn't notice, she turned the camera sideways, and that's because I ate too much over the holidays. Maybe not.
Just one.
Yes, sir.
If you don't mind. I know there was a late announcement that came out about the status tomorrow, considering.
Yes, sir.
Could you tell anybody who's watching what the situation is?
Yes, sir, certainly. So we have a pending storm that's coming our way tomorrow. It indicates that it would be around that 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. is when the most effects are. Some high winds. The superintendent of schools did not close schools, but went to virtual learning tomorrow. So students will still be in session online. Many of our municipalities I've been talking to today, I believe Hilton Head is going to close their offices, and the rest of the municipalities are staying open. Beaufort County offices will be open. We have made some accommodations for staff members that may have children at home or some other opportunities. Their department heads and their ACAs will work on those things for us. But Beaufort County will be open to, Beaufort County offices will be open to serve its citizens. We do have our solid waste transfer stations. We'll have some information that was sent out. Some of our solid waste transfer stations will be closed tomorrow. Their normal close day is on Wednesday, so they'll be opened on Wednesday and closed tomorrow. So there'll be really just one day change in service.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, there is no one that has signed up for citizen comments at this time, so we'll move on to liaison and committee reports. Are there any reports from anyone? Ms. Howard?
Yes, the Stormwater Board met December 12th. There was a large group from Alljoy attended that meeting. The Shell Point community will have a meeting on January 29th regarding their stormwater issues at Shell Point Baptist Church on January 29th. And Fort Royal swore in their new mayor December 13th. I got to see that. And it
And he
was,
had a baby?
and he had a
just say
baby. He's done all the firsts, I'll tell you. And Beaufort Memorial Hospital is interviewing candidates for their board vacancy, and we'll be bringing a nominee name forward to us for that. And I spoke to the Clemson Youth Leadership Group December 14th, which was always inspiring because that's our future. Is this youth leadership group that Clemson leads. That's all I have.
Thank you. Anyone else? Ms. Kaepernick?
I just want to inform the public, those here and those watching, we've set the next to chat with council. South of the Broad will be January 24th. That's a Wednesday. We'll be at the Hilton Head Island Library, Mr. Reeds and Mr. McGillen down there, 6 p.m. And then north of the Broad will be in Chambers here, February 29th. That's a Thursday and certainly you can attend all of them. That's fine. But that's the two we have set so far. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, we're now ready for our public hearings and action items. Item number 9 is a first reading of an ordinance authorizing the interim county administrator to execute the necessary documents and to provide funding for the purchase of tax map serial number, also known as 76 May River Road. May I have a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Cunningham makes the motion.
I'll second it.
Mr. Lawson makes the second, duly motioned and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yes,
Please.
I'm totally against this.
Okay?
We don't need a library. I know you and I have discussed it, but I've talked to numerous people. I'd like to take a survey up here. When's the last time any of you went to a library? Use a library. I did too. I went there a lot during the holidays, and I addressed my Christmas cards there, because it's so quiet, and there's nobody there. I just think this is unnecessary.
So
Ms. Taberner.
I'll talk on the opposite side of that, having served on the library board for, 6, 7 years. And looking at the statistics for library visits, the Bluffton Library far exceeds every other branch. And in fact, probably does more than several of the branches put together as far as usage. And it's very well used for children's programs, adult programs, conferences, meetings, and so on. And that area does need another library. I originally voted against the proposal to put on May River because due to the congestion in the area. I did go look at the site. I understand if we don't buy it, somebody else is gonna buy it. I get that. I think a library is a much better use than another business. And I spoke to Mr. Atkinson. I also spoke to our library director. The library board is totally in favor of this and we'd like to get it moving. I think we've been talking about this 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
I know, time flies by, yeah. But we do need another library and, I don't love the location due to the traffic, but I understand something's gonna go there if we don't, so I would support this.
Mr.
Ms.
Chairman,
Howard.
I was the liaison to the library board since at least 5, 6 years we've been talking about this. But to the point, someone else will buy it. If we don't, that's not a reason to do it. The main reason is the public needs it and the public help pay for this with impact fees. So if we don't use this money, it's gonna go back to the developers. It's impact fee money that the people who bought houses in that area paid, or their developer paid, and I feel we owe it to the public to put it there. Libraries have always been an important part of my life. Also, I think that libraries do much more than what you just see in the facility. You know, Hoopolo's free. You get all kinds of free services with one little card, as our library director likes to say, is your ticket to all kinds of things. And I think the people in this area not only deserve it, but they paid for it.
Any
So
other
I will be
comments?
voting for it.
Mr. Cunningham?
I think Councilman Howard hit the nail on the head. That area is booming with residential. That's why the school is planning on putting another school over in that area by May River High. If anything, this will increase some traffic right there in that corner, but hopefully it does cut down on some traffic of the people traveling to the other side of town that are trying to use those services as well. So hopefully there's a little bit of a rub and give right there. And again, that is where most of the growth is happening. That's where those impact fees came from. That's where the need is for this type of facility, and I support it.
Mr. Glover?
Yes, thank you. Several years ago, staff came to us for a site on Bluffton and Pritchardville area, and they wanted to use some property with the rural and critical land. We turned them down. The rural and critical land program turned them down, and we asked staff to go out and find property for a library that they have identified as need. And so I'm supporting this motion because staff is doing exactly what we asked them to do several years ago.
Any others? Mr. Lawson?
Yes, and this is in my district or right there at my district, and we had looked at a site that was in the development there on the corner, which the property was too small, there was no parking, and that's why at that time we did not move forward with the proposal to build the library. This being almost 10 acres gives us the opportunity to go in and put a library in to do what, as Ms. Howard just said, I mean, we've been collecting impact fees for this. And even though some people think libraries have become obsolete, they actually haven't. They've evolved with new technologies and new things that happen. And it has become a place that people can go and get Wi-Fi service. They can use the computer if they need to. And it's not just going and checking out a hardback book anymore. And again, Bluffton has one library, and that is in downtown Bluffton. So this will give the opportunity to be closer to where everything's happening. Again, I'm all for this, and I think this is a great location. I think the property use will be perfect, and I'm excited about us moving forward with the opportunity.
Any other comments?
I did not realize that there is a school, so I was gonna say use this land for a school, but you're saying there's already a school
be on May
going
River.
in?
It's right
Is that
by May
next
River.
to this?
No.
Down the road, May River High
Because
School.
everyone's
down there.
telling me we need another school. I don't have kids on.
Well, this will be
It's,
enough land.
it's New Riverside's down there where all the development is, and they just passed a referendum to build another school in there.
Oh, but it's not near here?
No, it's
Oh,
sort of
but it's
down
in
the
the area.
road around.
Yes. Any other comments? This will be moved forward with only one objection. I see no other objections, so this will pass for first reading with 10 yes, 1 no. Item number 10 is a public hearing and first reading of an ordinance for a zoning map amendment rezoning request for 57 acres located at 1234 Bennett Point Drive from a planned unit development, PUD, to T2 rural. May I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second it.
Ms. Howard made the motion, David made the second, and duly motioned and seconded. I will now open this to the public. Yes, sir.
Councilman Howard, can you state the reasons why you need it appropriate to be rezoned? I don't have to.
Okay, let me think.
Maybe the planning department.
Maybe they can coach me on this. You got it?
Well,
Oh, okay, here. Yes, I can. I make the motion based on that the applicants are seeking to amend the zoning of 4 undeveloped parcels from Pleasant Point PUD to T 2R. These parcels will make up the Texas Tract, which was originally platted and approved for 179 single-family lots. This will reduce it to 4 lots that will remain in a conservation easement. This will ensure that it will can be no further subdivided, and each parcel will be limited to 1 dwelling unit. Does that suffice?
Well, there are factors that the ordinance sets forth that, are not criteria.
You want to come up here?
Does Rob want to come coach me through this one? Okay.
Yeah.
Rob, you want the AIS?
Yes. Well, actually, no, I pretty much have it memorized. The Community Development Code outlines several criteria that are considered when looking at a map amendment. And so the first is consistency with the comprehensive plan. The second would be that it doesn't conflict with any provision in the Community Development Code. It also looks at compatibility with surrounding land uses, the provision of public sewer, of infrastructure and public services to serve the site, so.
Okay.
For those reasons?
For those reasons, I therefore make a motion that we change the zoning to from a PUD to the T2 rural.
And Mr. Bartholomew?
And I second that.
Okay. Duly motioned and seconded. Is there any member of the public who wishes to speak on this matter? Seeing none, we'll close the public portion. Is there any member of council who would like to speak on this matter?
Chairman, I'm just glad that we eliminated another PUD.
Any other comments?
And another form of down zoning.
Yes.
Yeah, well, Mr. Chairman, this came before the planning commission on the 27th, on September 7th, and the planning commission approved it unanimously. They voted unanimously to approve the zoning, so I'm good with it.
Okay, the first reading will be approved without objection, and I see no objections. Item number 11 is a public hearing and second reading of an ordinance declaring certain real property located at 2 Mullet Street as surplus property, authorizing the interim county administrator to execute any documents necessary for the sale of real property, and allocating the proceeds from the sale of real property. A motion, please.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Lawson makes the motion.
I'll second that.
Mr. Cunningham had his hand up first.
Okay.
Duly motioned and seconded. Is there any member of the public who wishes to make comments about this particular item? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. Is there any member of council who wishes to weigh in? Seeing none, this will be approved without objection at second reading, and I see no objections. Item number 12 is a public hearing and second reading of an ordinance authorizing the interim county administrator to enter into a lease agreement for real property located at 39 Airport Circle with Cindy Holman. A motion and second?
Second.
Mr. Cunningham made the motion, Mr. Bartholomew made the second. Duly motioned and seconded. I will go to the public since this is the public hearing portion of this. Anyone in the public wishes to make a comment regarding this item? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. Any member of council? Seeing none, this will be approved on second reading without objection, and there are no objections. Item number 13 is a public hearing and second reading of an ordinance authorizing the interim county administrator to enter into a lease agreement for real property located at 39 Airport Circle with Matt Archer.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Mr. Glover made the motion, Mr. Bartholomew made the second, duly motioned and second, and I will go to the public to see if anyone in the public wishes to make a comment. Seeing none, We'll close the public portion. Any member of council wishes to make a comment? Seeing none, this will be approved on second reading without objection, and there are no objections. Item 14 is a public hearing and second reading of an ordinance conveying an easement located on a portion of real property at 55 Gardner Drive to the town of Hilton Head.
I'll make the motion.
Ms. Tabernick makes the motion.
I'll second that.
Ms. Brown makes the second, duly motioned and seconded. Again, we go to the public. Any member of the public wish to comment about this item? Seeing none, we'll close the public portion. Any member of council? Seeing none, this will be approved on second reading without objection, and there are no objections. Item 15 is a public hearing and third reading of an ordinance authorizing the interim county administrator to enter into a lease agreement for real property located at 39 Airport Circle with Tim Vero.
So moved.
Mr. Bartholomew made the motion, Mr. Glover made the second, duly motioned and seconded. Is there any member of the public wishes to weigh in on this item? Seeing none, we'll close the public portion. Is there any member of council? Seeing none, this will be approved on third reading without objection, and I see no objections. Item number 16 is a public hearing and third reading of an ordinance authorizing the interim county administrator to enter into a lease agreement for real property located at 39 Airport Circle with Beaufort Flight Training.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Bartholomew made the motion.
Second.
Mr. Glover made the second. Duly motioned and seconded. Is there any member of the public who wishes to comment? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing portion. Any member of council?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to just comment to, and thank the staff at the airport, because one of the things, I've asked them to do over the years is bring in revenue so that we can expand the, executive airport. Hilton Head got a lot of revenue. Ladies Island doesn't have that kind of revenue, so I just want to thank the staff for doing just that. Thank you.
Any other comments? Seeing none, this will be approved without objection, and there are no objections. We are at our second citizens' comments. We have 3 people who wish to address county council about various items. Ms. Lamarca, please come forward. You're the first one of the year.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
And it says various topics.
Yes, but this is actually, I didn't want to tell you what I wanted to say. I want to thank the newbies for their first year. You did a fabulous job, and I hope you continue representing the citizens of this county, because we do appreciate it very, very much. I want you to stay strong, stay the course, and vote your conscience. I think if you do that, you'll accomplish some of what you discussed with change and choices and conservation. And that was a beautiful invocation, by the way. We should start every meeting with it. It puts us all in a good mood. Secondly, to you senior members, thank you for your service. And not to upset you, I would love for all of you to pay more attention to the newbies and maybe listen to them, and you might learn from them, because they're engaging the public. They're engaging their citizens, and we truly do appreciate it. So as we look to change and new business and old business, because it's coming back. We'll see you in a few weeks. Thank you. Stay the course. Keep an open mind.
Thank you. Ian Leslie.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Ian Leslie. I've been a Beaufort County resident for more than 20 years. I covered this county council as the government reporter for the Beaufort Gazette back when the Gazette actually covered local news. Before anyone on this dais, other than Councilman Dawson, was on council. I think Ms. Councilwoman Howard was still at the air station at the time. I sat through dozens, if not more than 100 council and committee meetings, but this is my first time I've spoken as a resident. Incredibly concerned by the gun violence and gun deaths occurring amongst our teenage population. On January 1st, a 14-year-old Battery Creek student was shot and killed during a drive-by shooting in which he was not the target. He was sitting in his mother's home playing video games when the bullet came through and struck him. The young man, from all accounts, was a light and a joy to all his friends and those who knew him. More than 700 people attended his funeral on Saturday. The young man clearly impacted so many around him during his short time with us. But he's the third Battery Creek student to die from gun violence since August, and I believe the fourth in just the past year. Our local media does little to report on this and offer little more than details that they see on a police report, if that. We discuss these tragedies in our homes and churches, but I'm left to wonder how our community leaders on council, in the school district, and law enforcement are addressing this. How are we coming together to acknowledge that something must change and that our community is too small to see so many gun deaths amongst our teenagers? Are we doing anything? Asking any questions? Yes, our school administrators and teachers have a servant heart and work tirelessly with these teenagers. Yes, our law enforcement is brave and put the safety of our community first every day that they are in the field, but it's clearly not enough. We clearly need to come together as a community to address this issue. We are not in control to prevent all tragedies, but we can be doing more. We can talk to these teenagers and try to address the why, try to intercede. I remember a time in this county when we did just that. In January 2002, when 2 sheriff's deputies were killed in the line of duty, we were shocked, mourned, and then took action. In March 2004, when 3 sailors died in a bus crash near Gardens Corner, we were shocked, mourned, and then took action. In February 2019, when a young woman died in a horrible boating accident, we were shocked, mourned, and then toppled an empire. But today, as our youth in this county die from gun violence, yes, we're shocked, yes, we mourn, but there is no action. But today, rest assured, however, this young man, who most recently passed, will not die in vain. On Thursday evening, dozens of middle and high schoolers gathered to pray. Some of these teenagers who gathered never set foot in a church before in their lives, never heard the gospel. I'm expectant that the Lord will do a great work in these teens as a result. More than 600 heard the gospel at Saturday's funeral. I am expectant that the Lord will do a great work in them. But we also have to do our part. We have to hold you, our county council, accountable for asking the right questions. Lord knows the media isn't holding you accountable. Do the schools have the resources they need? Does law enforcement have the resources it needs? Who is talking to the teenagers? For whatever reason, our attention span seems to wane in this community lately. Whether lack of media attack or lack of accountability, we don't take action like we used to. Perhaps we have so many new residents who don't know the history and don't know what this community can be. Either way, I ask that you act today and lead to protect our children.
Thank you. And finally, Mr. Semler.
Good evening. My name is Bob Semler, as the chairman just said. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Happy New Year. I spoke at the Community Services and Land Use Committee about the same subject, passive parks. I represent Friends of Whitehall, and we're going through a lot of ups and downs right now. I've been involved in Friends of Whitehall since 2018. We've got 6,000 signatories on our Facebook page. We had $1 million donation made to us that went towards the purchase of the property. And we've got a substantial amount in the bank. We wish to donate trees to replace the one that fell down in Whitehall. We wish to donate benches. We can't do any of those. Because if the money comes here, it goes to the general fund. We can't be specific on what it's doing. It's nobody's fault. The lawyers are doing what they're supposed to do to make sure you follow a certain track. And the passive park director is following that. We have to sign a waiver for every volunteer if we want to go pick up trash. 3 pages. You all should have to sign that same thing when you walk in the county council chambers. Anyways, I don't know what the solution is. We want to work on it together. We're all in favor of what the county does. We support it. We don't want to see the Friends program disappear because we can't talk to each other. I really wish you'd look into it. Thank you all very much. Have a great year.
Thank you. That concludes the second citizen comments, and the first county meeting of 2024 is now adjourned. Thank you for coming.